Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the CEDH cast Greedy Keeps. This week we are here with Famji and we are going to be talking about the Turbo Nas variant of Kess. Famji, do you want to just introduce yourself and the variant that we're going to talk about today?
Oh yeah. Well, I am Famji. First of all, hello. This cast version, it's trying to go fast. It's trying to, in the other case of a normal game, try to win the game on turn 2 or 3 of like a early wheel ad nauseum or like peer into the abyss.
hmm
All right. Um, that, that it seems to do that when I play against it. Some people might be like, Kess winning on turn two? What? It's pretty explosive. It's a pretty cool list.
Mhm.
So,
So,
do you have
one
any?
question that I personally had was that the Turbo Nas archetype really has clear lanes of victory that it goes for. What does Kess specifically bring to the table that you really like about it?
Mm, let's first compare it to like Jaleva in Grixis.
hmm
Jaleva gives fast card advantage and mana advantage.
hmm
So when you play her, she's gonna give you gas most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't, but that's an advantage you want. And other ones, blue farm, you have Chrome and like Timna to draw cards.
hmm
Cass doesn't do that directly. She gives you card advantage over time, but it costs mana also.
Right.
And it needs cards in your graveyard. That's obviously a thing you have to be cognizant about.
hmm
But the thing with Cass is that when you cast her, the ad nauseum you that got countered last turn, it's still in your graveyard generally. Uh,
Yeah.
so you just cast it again, or you can go with the intuition pile that's usually used in the consultation variant as well, the mid-range
hmm
cut. Uh, it has so many backup lines that give it the resiliency that the other Turbonos variants do not have.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people on Blue Farm, and sometimes they just go for it once, and then they've cracked their LED and they have no hand, and they're like, I don't know.
That's true, but there is a caveat to this as well, because
hmm
because you don't have as strong of a card advantage engine, or maybe even a mana engine in the case of Jaleva,
hmm
you tend to have to mulligan a bit more.
Yeah.
Just because you can't keep pure mana hands usually,
hmm
although you still do keep them generally,
hmm
because like draw a cantrip, okay, it kind of sucks to cast a cantrip twice, but usually it finds you this other stuff like a tutor or just the ad nauseum that you want to find.
Makes sense.
Yeah, sweet. You have like a primer written, right? So people can check that out if they're interested in the list.
Yeah, it is under the Primus section in the Moxfield list.
All right,
Great.
sweet. So we're gonna get started on our greedy keeps. So here's our first hand. It's a Dimir Signet, a Talisman of Dominance, an Arcane Signet, Force of Negation, Winds of Rebuke, Marsh Flats, and Underground River.
This is kind of bad. It's okay. It's fine if you're going to like 5, maybe.
Sure, sure.
But like as the first or second or 7 or even a 6, this is an instant mulligan because you have
Yeah.
nothing to do on turn 1. You're holding up a counter
Yeah.
spell. You don't want to be doing that because
No.
if you're gonna hold a counter spell turn 1, and if you have to
hmm
use it, you're down cards to the entire table.
Yeah.
And it's a force of negation as well, so you're down 2 cards instead of just 1.
Right. Now,
Also, the
one
ramp is
question I
messed up.
have when I see this hand is the Force of Negation is usually played in more defensive decks. Why the slot inclusion here?
Force Negation is good when you want to be very greedy early. When you don't want to be holding up the mana. You want to use as much mana as you can on your turn to gain the advantage, to ramp, to draw more cards, to do what you want to be doing.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah,
right.
That makes a lot of sense. Alright, second 7. Tainted Pact, Flusterstorm, City of Brass, Swan Song, Mystic Remora, Lotus Petal, Unsubstantiated.
I would like to have more mana in this, but this is just Mystic Remora turn 1. You're gonna keep it anyway. It's very good. It's going to draw into something. You already have a Dockside Doubler in the Unsubstantiate. You already have a Tainted Pact if you happen to draw, let's say, an Oracle. Or if you want to look for something like Mana Crypt, perhaps. It also depends on turn 1 what you draw, if you would if you'd go for the Tainted Pact instead.
Right.
But this is gonna be an instant keep.
Sweet.
Almost all the way to.
Sweet.
So have you found that in the metas you're seeing that a hand can be kept off just having a Remora?
Remora is going to do work almost always anyway. In the worst case scenario with this hand, you're going to have to crack the Lotus Petal and use a counter spell to make the Remora stick.
Right.
Or another case would be if they really want to fight it, it's going to suck. But
yeah.
Generally this hand is going to be very good in the game.
I have a hard time believing that if you Swan Song it on turn 1, that they're going to have more interaction.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
too.
that seems unlikely.
Yeah. Especially on turn 1, they're going to be like, why are we fighting this Mystical Aurora when someone might just, like, cast Ad Nauseam next turn? You know?
Yeah.
Alright. So we kept this one. Now we're going to new 7. It's Underworld Breach, Talisman of Creativity, Praetor's Grasp, Morphic Pool, Demir's Signet, Time Twister, Luxury Suite.
I don't think this can be kept ever.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's pretty rough, yeah.
Like, maybe at the 5 or 4 point, you're going to keep this because this is just like a land, go, land, and Signet, and then you Twister on turn 3 and try to get back into the game, but it really hurts.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Second 7. Another rough one. It is Muddle the Mixture, Rite of Flame, Mnemonic Betrayal, Peer into the Abyss, Underground River, Reanimate, and Mox Diamond.
Yeah, this... I don't know what it needs to be viable. You need to draw land to get the Mox Diamond online, turn 1, and then you might even need a Mana Crypt or something.
Yeah,
as well.
It's pretty rough.
So whenever when you need to draw 2 cards on your first turn that are exact, it's going to be a bit rough in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump down to 6.
Rhystic Study, Chain of Vapor, Miscast, Dockside, Arid Mesa, Command Tower, Volcanic Island.
So we have the best mana ritual in the game, and we have a doubler, and we have interaction and a payoff in Rhystic Study.
Right.
This is a very good hand, although you would like to have a turn 1 rock.
Right.
I think you keep this.
Yeah.
If you're going first,
curious what you put to the bottom.
Even keep that. I think you put the Volcanic Island on the bottom. You
Gotcha.
actively want to use the fetch to get a card into your graveyard in the case that you'll get an Underworld Breach going.
Right.
And you might just pick that Volk off the bottom anyway.
Yeah. I think in my experience, Dockside's going to be making at least like 2 mana, likely 3 mana, possibly 4 mana. I wouldn't be shocked if you were able to like go turn 2 Dockside, play the Rhystic Study, and protect it with Miscast. That's like not crazy to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even like like, if you draw a tutor in this hand, then
Oh,
then we look at the dock side. It might just be a turn 2 ad nauseum with protection
Right.
and a backup plan with the Ristic Study.
Yeah. If
It's a really good hand, although a little bit slow on turn 1.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Chain of Vapor allows you to, just so people know, like the Chain of Vapor allows you to bounce your own dockside. So theoretically, if you just like draw an Imp Seal off the top on turn 1, the following turn you can be like
Yeah.
dockside, bounce your dockside, replay your dockside.
Yeah.
Now you're playing with with a lot of stuff.
Right.
So-
Right. Sweet.
All right. Fresh 7. Preordain. Well, this hand just has no lands. I'm not
No
gonna-
lands.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have land. That's
Yeah. All right. Marsh Flats, Demonic Tutor, Chrome Mox, Sunken Ruins, Jace, Pact Negation, Spell Pierce.
This is interesting. Okay, like,
Yeah. If now, Famji, you're the expert here, but instinctually, I feel like the turn 1 demonic tutor. I don't know. I'm tempted to Chromox up Jace, and then go for something with DT that'll get us a good amount of cards. But what's your sort of instinct here?
I think I put the Pact of Negation below the Crown Mox. I don't think this is going to attempt to win on turn 2 or 3.
Right.
I would probably myself go Marsh Flats, find, I guess, Underground. No, wait a second. I'm gonna find a Badlands in this situation since we have the
Right.
Sunken Ruin. We Chromox. I think we imprint the Spell Pierce actually,
Mhm.
and get ourselves a Mana Crypt and just cast a Jace turn 2.
That
Or
seems pretty
even,
good.
and then like you can also just go and have a Kess on turn 2 if you wish.
Yeah.
And that's a Demonic Tutor in the graveyard. It's gonna
Yeah.
raise some eyebrows and be a little bit scary.
Sure. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Let's get a look at a fresh 7. Dispel, Vern Catacombs, Wooded Foothills, Lion's Eye Diamond, Demir Signet, Thassa's Oracle, Swan Song.
Gotta hate those opening LED hands. You really do.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
Yeah, the lack of like
Yeah, I don't.
card advantage or even tutors is kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, any tutor
it's
would
not
make
even
this
like-
hand gas.
Yeah, it's not even like it's a talisman either, because then with a talisman you could at least like hold up interaction, play a talisman, hold up interaction, whereas here it's just a signet where you're completely tapped out to play a signet, which is just
Yeah, and the best thing you can do in this hand, granted, you may draw just a tutor. If you find like a gamble or demonic tutor off the top, you're gonna just play the 2 lands on turn 2. You might just go for a wheel with the LED.
Yeah.
Because the gamble doesn't work in this case.
Could you gamble
I'm an
for?
idiot.
Could you gamble for? I guess you just don't have enough mana. I'm thinking like, I was wondering if you could like gamble for breach, and then if you draw a gamble, if you could like gamble for breach, then crack the LED for red mana, then float a red, then recast the gamble, getting brain freeze, replay LED. I just think you run out of cards. Sounds like you run out of cards.
Yeah.
There is some math to be had there, but I
Yeah.
think the
Yeah.
general answer, if you find a tutor in this hand, granted you would be keeping it, it would be just play the 2 lands, cast a demonic tutor, crack LED in response for red, and cast a Wheel of Fortune and go for a
Yeah.
new 7.
Yeah. That's if you happen to find a
Yeah.
tutor.
So this hand's not
Yes.
useful.
Easier to mulligan.
All right. So our next hand is Steam Vents.
Keep-
Okay.
Oh, this is Oh, yes.
So Steam Vents, Brain Freeze, Gamble, Ristic Study, Snap, Luxury Suite, Mox Diamond. I mean, yeah, this hand's insane.
It's so much gas.
Yeah. Snap is
Oh, God.
insane. If anyone here has not targeted their own dockside with Snap, you're really missing out on Some of the spice of life.
Yeah.
It's quite fun. So how would you
And
sequence
even-
this hand?
I might go for a turn 1 Ristic. Just play Luxury Suite and Mox Diamond discarding the Steam Vents. Generally, if there's a green player on the table. Then you would gamble for Mana Crypt. Hope you don't hit Mana Crypt and Ristic. Just Mana Crypt and Ristic. That's a good start. Other ways you could go about it would be just like gambling for a Dockside.
Yeah.
But you might want to. It's a bit mana inefficient. It feels kind of bad. I would like to play the Ristic before going for that plan.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But this is very nice.
All right. So let's see if our 7. Praetor's Grasp, Gamble, Mana Crypt, Imperial Seal, Force of Will, Arid Mesa, Dockside.
I don't know what else you need. This,
Yeah.
God damn.
Do you? I guess you assume that. Do you like? How often is the turn 1 Dockside good enough?
Turn 1?
Yeah.
It depends so much on which position you're going. If you're going 4th, this is usually going to give you at least 1 extra mana. At times it might give you 3, but that's just how the game plays out. You generally might want to just Imperial Seal for maybe an ad nauseum.
Sweet.
And you definitely play out the Mana Crypt if someone happens to Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. This hand's awesome. I love this hand.
I think so. So, do you get a Badlands with the Arid Mesa? Is that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really
It
your
might
choice,
come to
right?
bite. It
Sorry.
It might come bite your butt if you don't get a blue land, but
Yeah.
honestly, just getting a Badlands, it just casts everything in his hand.
Right. Right. Not having another blue spell for force is a little sad, but obviously we still have our draw for the turn.
You can't have literally all of it in.
You don't need Praetor's Grasp. Grasp is fine.
I'm just saying, like.
Honestly, you have Dockside, you have infinite.
Yeah.
colored
Yeah. You're
mana.
right.
You can have all your blue.
All right. So fresh 7. Underground River, Snap, Underworld Breach, Wishclaw, Brainstorm, Mox Opal, Peer into the Abyss. This is a pretty awkward hand.
Oh,
It is very awkward.
the greedy person in me would would want to go for that, but it definitely shouldn't.
So
It's pretty
in
bad.
the top 5 cards ish, actually probably 4 because you don't
Yeah.
want to sandbag the Brainstorm till turn 2. If you hit a land, this is like pretty okay. You'll Wishclaw for a Dockside and fucking win the game, but in the other cases, you're just gonna lose the game to not having a land or any mana.
Yeah.
It's also like a turn 3 Dockside, right? Like, that's not.
Yeah,
That's not.
it's gonna give you a lot of treasures, but
And you will be
it's
able to
not-
cast Snap possibly a couple times, which is kind of hot.
Yeah.
With the breach.
Oh, yes, and you also have the payoff there.
Yes. Yeah.
Peer into the abyss, win the game. It's quite simple.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not. If this is our first 7, which it is, I'm not actively thrilled by it. Right? Is this something you'd usually keep?
As a first 7, maybe not. But like second 7 or 6, I think I'm keeping it.
That's pretty spicy.
'Cause-
All right.
Because if we'd go to 5, you'd have to bottom either Underworld Breach or Peer into the Abyss, which which you probably bottom the breach, but it might be rough.
Yeah.
Mox Opal isn't that necessary here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make your
exactly.
dock
That's what I was
side.
thinking about
It
the
does
six.
make your like the Wishclaw and the Opal both make your dock side better, which is kind of funny. Like,
Right.
but yeah, it's just an interesting
Yeah.
synergy. I actually won a game yesterday where I Praetor scratched someone, took their Wishclaw, played their Wishclaw, tapped their Wishclaw, gave them back their Wishclaw, got my Wishclaw, replayed my Wishclaw, gave it to someone else, and then I made Infinite Mana with Dockside because it pushed them over the edge.
That's so dumb.
Wishclaw is crazy.
That's so fucking dumb. Oh my.
Wishclaw is a crazy card. They had 3 artifacts and I had to get to 5. I was on Corworld. It was so funny.
Oh my god.
The worst part is I did it to myself because I misdirected a removal spell to one of their artifacts and enchantments as I was like storming off, and I was like, no. So I made it worse for myself, but it's fine. I won. I won.
No, but you got a good story and you won.
Yeah.
Good enough, good enough.
That's true. All right. Fresh. I guess, are you keeping this or not?
I wouldn't keep it as a first 7.
Okay.
If this is a first 7, no, I don't like the risk.
Okay. Preordained, Chain of Vapor, Verdant Catacombs, Ponder, Soul Ring, Windfall, Gamble. This is pretty spicy.
It's a good name.
Seems very good.
What do you do here?
I'm just going to get an Underground Sea and play the Soul Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just get it out there. Just get more mana on the next turn. You have a Windfall if you need. If you draw more fast mana or want to cantrip, I don't think you
I was
necessarily
wondering-
want to do that.
I was wondering if you tried to like gamble for a like a mana crypt to play your Soul Ring, but I guess maybe that's like too greedy. I guess you don't.
Also,
have the
then you
source.
can't play the rest of your hand.
Yeah,
You could technically go for a Chrome Mox,
Oh yeah, that's true.
try and get a bit more mana out.
That seems real sketchy.
It's not that sketchy.
Nah, it's good. You have the Windfall there.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you pitch the Chromox, you literally can't cast a single spell in your hand.
Yes,
What are
that
the chances
sucks,
of
but
that?
you can cast the Soul Ring. You can hope.
You can hope. All right. We're living on different worlds, Ian. I'm out here trying to like break this gamble. And you're like, what if we just cast a turn 2 Windfall with mana up? Like, yeah, that's pretty good too. Probably correct.
Because you don't get as many cards to use if you Windfall turn 2. Like, you still have like 4 cards. You have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like you
Three, I
hold on to
guess,
that
but-
Windfall.
Really.
Although being able to cast the Windfall and then also having the ability, if you hit a land, to chain someone's permanent into the Windfall is always something I enjoy.
They'll hit your Soul Ring though, so just
I-
to spite
do you really
That's-
want to sack your land on turn 2 to bounce a Soul Ring? I don't think so.
Spite plays, Ian. Spite plays.
Yeah, sure, okay, sure.
You know me.
I have experienced that.
Rough. All right. So this is a keep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So our new hand is Muddle Mixture, Phantasmal Image, Ristic Study, Chain of Vapor, Red Elemental Blast, Steam Vents, Gamble.
I do not like that.
You can Steam Vents you can gamble for Mana Crypt. It's basically a Soul Ring, and then you have a Ristic Study or a Phantasmal Image.
It's.
Yeah.
It's not that
I
great.
think it's like reasonable.
Yeah, the fact that you can't play the Ristic Study on turn 1 is a big sad, but maybe I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate, and Phantasmal Image is still dead in this situation because we don't have a Dockside yet. Although we could
Yeah.
gamble for Dockside and pray for a land.
Oh god, no.
yes, yes. I
Nah.
love Gamble. It's one of my favorite cards. I love it.
If you'd keep this, you'd probably gamble for Mana Crypt and play it.
Yeah, that's fair.
A turn 2 Ristic with like
Yeah.
blast
I'm
protection if you draw land.
Yeah, I'm a generally unlucky person, so going for the risk of not pitching the right card to gamble and also drawing the land seems real loose to me.
Oh, I would definitely like if this gamble was a demonic consultation, it would 100% be a mana crypt on turn one.
Wow.
I love that. You Finns are crazy. You guys play that way. It blows my mind. I'm like, these guys are playing 4D chess, and I'm out here playing checkers. Like, all right. Fresh 7. Gemstone Caverns, Grim Monolith, Peer into the Abyss, Spell Pierce, Notion Thief, City of Brass, and Praetor's Grasp.
Is this our 6? I think this is our 6, right?
I thought we kept the last hand.
Oh, did we keep the last one?
Oh.
We might. It's just how like courageous you're feeling.
Yeah.
I'm always ready.
If you want to be smart about it, you wouldn't keep the last hand most likely.
Okay, so us cowards are here on our 6.
Okay.
If we're talking about a 6 here, I think this is fair enough to keep.
Yeah.
It's gonna give you 5 mana on turn 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So my instinct here is you exile either one of or you put Praetor's Grasp or Spell Pierce to the bottom and then tuck the other one, right? That's kind of what I get from this.
Yeah, it depends. Because it depends a lot on what you draw on turn 1. Because if you draw more lands, you would probably keep the Peer into the Abyss. Or like maybe even a...
Well, we won't.
Mana
That's
Crypt
the thing.
doesn't
This
do
is
it.
it's all pre-game, so we won't know what we draw.
It's the Gemstone Caverns that we're talking about.
True.
And the card to the bottom is what I'm saying.
I think you bottom the Spell Pierce. Because we're basically going to 5. Since
Yeah.
we have the Gemstone, but we're going faster than a regular 5.
Sure.
We're not going to want to interact with anything before we get something going for ourselves, because we're going to lose the game if we're just gonna not do anything and keep up mana.
Right.
I do think it's quite possible that if you're in like a very if you're in like a farm meta, I feel like the Notion Thief just lets you like steal a win some percentage of the time.
Yeah.
Oh yes, but this hand casts some Adnos turn 2, if it happens to go that way, and turn 2 you might either hold up Notion Thief or Praetor's Grasp for what would I? Perhaps even a Dockside, since you have the Peer into the Abyss
Yeah, that seems smart.
in your hand.
So okay, but we don't. We have to lose one of them, don't we? Because of the gemstone.
So you can drop the thief.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying put the thief to the bottom of your library,
Or exile it.
It might be.
or exile.
It depends on what you're against. If you're expecting a wheel on turn 2, if you hold up 5 mana, which you probably won't find a wheel in that situation, because everyone's going to look at 5 mana. That's either ad nauseum or like a Notion Thief, if you're a normal person, because usually that's a main phase ad nos turn 2 if you happen to find it. But people are going to be holding up interaction against that. So it's rare that the Notion Thief gives enough value, in my opinion, to keep it in this hand. I think the Praetor's Grasp is going to be better chances of winning the game.
Then Peer or the thief.
Than Thief. Peer into the Abyss is just great if you get to cast it.
Right.
I mean, this hand does go like turn 1 Grim, turn 2 Praetor's Grasp if you hit a land off the top 2 draws.
Yes.
And then after that, you're kind of set up, right?
I mean, you can still Praetor's Grasp on your second turn. You just can't play a Dockside.
Yeah, it's gonna suck if you
have
to
Caverns and
waste
City.
2 mana. It's a bit tough.
Yeah.
This would be a keep, but it's the line you're going to take is going to be a bit difficult to find.
Yeah, it's probably pretty pod dependent, as you said.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
All right, let's look at a fresh 7. Arcane Signet. Why did I say it like a pirate? Arcane Signet.
Hurricane Signet.
Manifold, Delay, City of Brass, Wishclaw Talisman, Chain of Vapor, Dimir Signet. This is a pretty explosive hand, I guess.
This is, well, City of Brass, Mana Vault, Arcane Signet, Dimir Signet.
Yeah.
That feels like a start.
Yeah.
I feel like you do it the other way around.
You do it the other way around because
Yeah.
you're better at Magic than me. But
You
But
can even
I
Chain of
digress.
Vapor your Mana Vault. You can even
Yeah.
you can even do that. So
true.
that is the thing you can do. Yeah.
Indeed, a thing you can do, and
And
you
the next
also
turn
have
you
Wish
play
Claw
Wish
with
Claw.
Chain of Vapor.
yeah. Oh, that's way better. I'm a fucking idiot. All right. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, you can. Can you? Are you gonna have enough mana to? If you draw a land, you can
Yeah,
play
yeah.
Wish Claw, activate Wish Claw, and
Bounce
then
it.
also bounce it and
Yeah.
sack a land to bounce Vault too if you need to. Like that's pretty spicy.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm not sure you bounce the Vault at that point.
Sure, I'm just saying if you need to.
Yeah. I
That's-
really like the
that's
turn.
good. Yeah.
This is spicy. I like spicy.
Oh, anytime I see the turn 1 mana vault into rock into another 2-drop, I'm like, snap keep, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
So-
It's pretty sick. I guess if you go turn 1 Vault, Arcane Signet, Wishclaw Talisman, or actually you have to go Dimir Signet. So if you go Vault, Dimir Signet, Wishclaw Talisman, and then the following turn you can. Nah, that just doesn't get to do anything important.
yeah, I feel like it's always just better to play your mana.
Usually, I just didn't know what the math was like.
Yeah.
I think you can go very risky and just play the Wish Claw turn 1, and on turn 2 find a dock side. And you have the Chain of Vapor. You can have a fuck ton of mana and a second Wish Claw activation, depending on how many artifacts and enchantments they have.
Yeah, because then you can bounce your Dockside Sackle and bounce your the Wishclaw back to your hand. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of mana
Yeah, and a lot of tutors.
and
Yeah.
a lot of winning the game.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's just do one more.
Sure.
This one makes me sad. Unsubstantiate, ad nauseum, mnemonic betrayal, exotic orchard, dockside, talisman, creativity, wishclaw. But you have it all.
Garbage.
It's everything but the land drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
If you hit the land, if you hey, what are the chances you hit a land off the top?
we had Adept
Okay, but even
a
then,
while
you don't
back.
do shit
He had
turn
the
1.
chances.
Yeah. It's like it is like greater than 50% of the time.
Yeah, but once again, like, you're not doing anything turn 1, and you're just, like, praying that Dockside gets you a dumb amount of mana.
It will. It always does, Ian. I don't know
It-
what you're
it-
talking
There's also
it-
about.
number.
It
When you're
always
playing the
does.
blue farm mirror, yes, Brayden, it always does,
I
but
know
I've
what
never
you're
played a
talking
pod
about.
where turn 2 it always gets 5 mana, you
It
drunkard.
doesn't need to get 5 mana, to be clear. It doesn't need to get 5 mana. It has to get
But-
like 3 mana. Or 4 mana.
Oh.
4 I think
Hmm.
4 mana is absurd because like once you can bounce it to your hand and then replay it.
And then replay it, and then it'll make 4
and then
mana
wish
again.
claw and then you can wish claw for like a chain of vapor or something, and then bounce to your hand, replay
But
it.
then you can't bounce it and replay it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's really close. The Wishclaw Talisman's like actually. I mean, I guess you could. This hand does really dumb things on turn 3. Like really.
It does really dumb things on turn 2 if you draw well.
Yeah. Even if you draw moderately, like if you draw
Like-
just a land.
I just feel like it's almost the amount of mana sources. It's
Even
it's
okay,
close
so
to like
here's-
40% to get something that gives you enough mana to start getting going.
I
Mm.
think also like The thing is even just like a turn 2 Dockside for 3 lets you play Talisman into Wishclaw, which is also just like. And then next turn, the following turn, you can like bounce your Dockside back to your hand, replay it, probably for more mana, especially since there's a Wishclaw on someone's end of the board now. And then that's enough for an Ad Nauseam. It doesn't even matter what you tutor for. Like,
Yeah, and even
protection.
drawing like a Rite of Flame is
Oh my god.
probably gonna do enough.
Yeah.
Not speaking even of like gamble, finding a mana crypt. You have a Signet in hand, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And
So many life
even if you
draws
discard
are risky.
even if you discard the Dockside, you still have an Ad Nauseam, you know? Like,
Yep.
You're still, if you just hit a land off the top 2, off of the turn 1 gamble for Mana Crypt, like, there's a lot of live draws here. I mean, every
Then you
land in
can
your deck is a
Wishclaw.
live draw.
And the Wishclaw fights the Reanimate.
Oh,
And then
Oh.
we go for lines, baby.
yeah. I like this hand a lot. The more I think about it, the more I like this hand. It makes me sad that it's not just like obviously busted. Like if it was like a Mana Crypt instead of Knowledge Betrayal, I think we'd just all be like, okay. But you know, this hand still is insane to me. You have
It's-
the bounce spell. The
It's very
tutor.
interesting.
This would literally never keep this.
You have such a high chance of drawing a land.
And then what?
Play Dockside.
Oh my god, you're living in Fairyland. I can't.
It's not Fairyland. Like it's
Okay,
turn
so
2.
say it makes 3 treasures. What do you do?
I play Talisman, then I play Wishclaw.
Oh, that's a pretty good turn 1.
Or turn 2. Or I'm
That's
saying even
turn
turn 2. Turn
Yeah.
2.
Super fair. I don't
And you
know.
have
That's
the
not busted.
unsubstantiate. You have the unsubstantiate, so you can then turn 3, bounce the Dockside to your hand, replay it, and then
Then that costs 4 mana, which you don't have, and then like I don't
yeah,
know.
you have.
You have 2
1, 2,
lands!
3. Sure. You can activate the Wishclaw, get a Chain of Vapor, bounce the Dockside to your hand, replay, or even just get a Mana Crypt. You can activate the Wishclaw, play Mana Crypt, then do that unsubstantiate Dockside, and then you probably make
Or get a snap.
or you just snap. Oh my god!
Yeah, even-
snap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Snap
even
makes a lot more
more
sense
efficient.
there.
Sure. Yeah, and then you can bounce the Dockside to your hand, replay Dockside, then play Ad Nauseam. The Wishclaw
I
ups
might
your
keep
count
this.
too. That's the best part. Is like the Wishclaw's a ritual with the Dockside. Well, it's a ritual because you get a ritual, and it's also a ritual because it makes your Dockside better. I love this hand. I'm sorry.
I would probably keep this and be very sad if I don't draw the mana source, but
Yeah, for sure.
I think the likelihood of me almost winning the game on the spot is good enough for me to keep this.
Yeah, I agree.
It's risky, but
Yeah.
it seems good.
All right. That was our last hand. I'm glad it was so spicy and controversial. I'd be very sad if it wasn't.
There's a reason this is called Greedy Keeps.
Yeah, that was a greedy keep. I think, however, like, I mean, come on. What are the chances?
Literally 0% would keep that, but
How? I mean, how can you say 0%? It's like, if you draw a land, it's great.
If you draw fast mana, it's also very
Oh
good.
my god, if you draw a
It's-
Chromox, that hand's
it's-
insane. Like, actually insane.
So many possible good draws.
Because then you can...
Also risky.
so many possible bad draws.
Hey, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like, I mean, in my experience, Dockside at least is like mana neutrals and almost always mana positive. And so like when I see hands like that, I'm just like, yes. So, all right, Fanji. Any comments for people who might be picking up the deck or interested in Kess?
Well, you're probably going to have to proxy up a Lionside Diamond if you want to play this. That's the first thing. It's a very good card for this, and I think it's very integral for the deck. And also, you may find me in the Turbonaus Turbo Form Discord or Grixis Mean Girls, which is generally the hub for Grixis CDH decks. You can drop me a question if you wish.
All right. So if you have any interest, we're going to leave a description of the deck list. The link to the deck list in the description. Yeah, if you're interested in any other Greedy Keeps episode, we have a playlist you can check out that has a list of all of the other Greedy Keeps we've done with all these other people who have created these decks.
And if you feel so inclined and you hear FamG promoting the amazing card that is Lion's Eye Diamond and you just need to pick one up on TCG Player, please feel free to use our affiliate link. It is in the description down below.
If you just have this uncontrollable urge to buy Lion's Eye Diamonds, it's just insatiable. Please.
That's a thing, yes. Boxing is fine in CEDH.
Yeah, for sure.
If you wish to have,
if you have the Lion's Eye disease, you just need to pick them up.
Please. I hope as many of our listeners have that illness as are financially capable. All right. Thanks for coming on, FamG. You were great.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a nice day, everyone, and I hope you get to keep some Greedy Keeps. Bye.
Bye.